Most dads over 40 think they can't build muscle without spending hours in the gym. I'm here to prove them wrong. Here's how I train in 45 minutes or less while getting stronger. Let's go. Of course, I used to spend 2 hours a day in the gym, if not more, when I had the time. But now, I'm limited to 30 to 45 minutes. And although I own a gym, I own a personal training studio with access to more equipment than I'll ever need, I still have other responsibilities that take priority. So, for me to spend 2 hours a day with my personal fitness is not really the best thing, or the smartest thing that I could do. So, my workouts need to be 30 to 45 minutes. And here's how I do it. After a good warm-up, and what I mean by good, I mean full body, because I'm trying to make my time as efficient as possible. So, I don't have 30 minutes to spend on a mobility warm-up routine. So I do full body exercises that I could get warmed up with, that also help out with mobility, that are in line or in support of the exercises that I'm doing for that day. So I'm currently running a 3-day split: upper body push-pull vertical, upper body push-pull horizontal, and then a leg day, lower body day. And I do have some injuries that I'm battling right now as far as my hip, my ankle. So I'm also working around that, trying to get the best workout in, the best leg workout in, while also trying to recover my injuries and not let the injury stop my progress. So 3-day split. Today is upper body push-pull vertical. So I'm doing some shoulder mobility and also some core activation and also some hip mobility and movement with this exercise I call it a transverse bridge. So it's one of the best exercises I feel you can do for a quick warm-up, also mobility, and get the shoulders primed up, because you are working on stability as well for that. So 4-point stance here, just hovering above the ground. You're gonna bring your hips, flip them around to the other side, square up your hips, and then push up to the ceiling. This bottom hand really firm into the ground, trying to keep that shoulder activated while keeping the hips up. Flip back to the other side, reset in the center, and then flip to this side. Same thing, square the hips up, push the hips up, this side on the ground, really firm, pressing down into the ground, reaching for the ceiling, up with the other hand. Back to center. You can do 4 to 5 of these each side, taking your time with it, and the whole time, you're also activating your core, because I never come down in the center. Here I'm still using my core to stay active. Up, round, push up, boom, other side, boom, boom. I'm also working a third plane of motion, transverse rotating horizontally. So you're working different planes of movement at the same time. I just heard my back with a little adjustment, noise, so my spine is getting aligned as well. I'm not a chiropractor. I don't recommend this if you have back pain. However, you will get some adjustments throughout your body while doing this. So, transverse bridge. If I'm running short on time, I'll do 1 set of 5 to 10 reps each side, and I'm primed up for the exercises for the day. So let's keep it moving. First main lift for today is a pull-up, and I've been using these fat grips just again to make my time more efficient. Now with a wider grip, I'm having to use more forearm, use more biceps, and again, it just makes the exercise more challenging, also more efficient. So I'm starting with some neutral grip pull-ups. Anytime I do a push-pull routine or workout, I always like doing more pulls and starting the workout with a pull movement. just to activate the upper back, shoulders, and get some rotator fluid moving, so keep the smaller muscles more engaged, and it also helps my posture. A lot of times we do too much pressing. I know from a retired meathead like I am, or a washed up meathead as Joe DeFranco calls us, the over pressing and all this movement happening in the front part of your body. These muscles in here in the front, there's a lot of action that happens. Biceps, pecs, front delt, there's a lot of movement in this small little area, so the smaller muscles get worn out, aka rotator cuff injuries or impingements or shoulder injuries. So starting with some pull-ups, neutral grip, because I feel it's better for my shoulder, and do like 3 to 5 sets here. With pull-ups, I've been doing 6 to 8 reps. My later sets, I might use a band to help out with the extra couple reps, but I'm starting with some neutral grip pull-ups, and I'm going to move into, I'm probably going to do a superset today, or at least a modified superset. Give myself maybe 30 seconds in between, and I'll move over to the overhead press. Again, I'm doing vertical push-pull, so push, pull. Okay, another way that I've found to make my workouts more efficient is to try to make each exercise a core exercise. So if you learn how to brace your abs, if you learn how to contract your abdominal muscles and your core at all times, or at least through most exercises, you get some core work in addition to obviously the muscles that you're training with that particular exercise. So every exercise becomes a core exercise. For instance, the pull-ups, I've seen the pull-ups get butchered quite a bit. So I look at the pull-up as a core exercise. So people in the studio here bust my chops because I'm always saying squeeze your glutes, tuck your pelvis. But if you can learn how to squeeze your butt, tuck your pelvis, especially while doing a push-up, you create like a half moon position like you see gymnasts do, not like you see CrossFitters do. CrossFitters are doing it for efficiency. I don't know if they care or not, but they're really not using their core. They're using momentum to keep that many reps in their workouts. Whereas more of like a gymnast, you'll see more of a core-based pull-up. I'm not shitting on CrossFitters. I'm just pointing out the obvious. That's not really, conducive to most general population folks doing the kipping pull-up like that. It's just not. It's not a good way to train your muscles from my standpoint, especially as an over 40-year-old guy who's trying to stay in shape and not get hurt. So again, pull-ups, core exercise, squeeze your butt, tuck your pelvis, keep that half moon position, and I'm gonna get as many as I can. This is my last set, and then I'm gonna use the band. So I will show you what it's like using the band, because I understand that some folks can't do a pull-up without using some kind of assistance. Pull-ups are very challenging. So I got 7, last set. I do want to get at least 3 more, so I'm going to use a band here. Simply wrap it around the pull-up bar. I like to put one leg in, get in position, and then step the other foot over that leg, and I can still keep my core nice and tight. All right, done. Okay, another way to keep this workout more efficient and get more bang for your buck, instead of doing a seated shoulder press, I'm just gonna stand up and do an overhead press standing. So I have to use my core, which makes the exercise more efficient. Squeeze your butt, tuck your pelvis, and more effective. people will ask me what's the best rep range to use for building muscle. And I say all of them. Low reps, heavy weights, high reps, lighter weights. Also somewhere in between. So I like to follow a 3-day or a 3-phase setup where, very simply put, heavy, medium, light. So heavier sets, lighter weights, more rest. And then the second week I'll do medium, somewhere in the middle, slower tempo, medium weights with like a 8 to 10 rep range. And then on the low, I shouldn't say low intensity, with the higher reps, lower weights, I'm doing anywhere from 15 to 20 reps per set. So 6 to 8, sometimes I'll dip into a 4, as heavy as 4 reps, but mostly 6 to 8 reps on the heavier side, the medium side, 8 to 12, and then on the lighter side, anywhere from 15 to 20 reps. And I'll rotate through those 3 setups, most likely on a monthly basis. So, or every 3 weeks I'll rotate through. So to be efficient right now, I'm starting with more of, again, I'm starting this training in this series. So I should just start off with like a 6 to 8 rep range. That was my first set, it was 12. I am gonna go heavier, again, to be more efficient, to make this workout more effective. I'm gonna stick with, I'm gonna focus on making this the heavier workout. So heavier weights, lighter reps. Heavier weights, lower reps. I was going to turn the camera up, but I should probably leave it on. So another way to keep the workouts more efficient is to keep your heart rate up. So take anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds of rest in between each superset, even between each exercise. As long as you just keep it moving, heart rate's going to be elevated. So it's probably best to do, like I did pull-ups, wait 30 seconds on the most top end of the 30 seconds, get to the overhead press, and then take anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds before I head back to the next set. Keep your heart rate up. You're also working aerobically as well as anaerobically. So it's one of the things I do just to keep my workouts more efficient. All right, keeping with the vertical push-pull theme, doing one of my favorite push exercises, the dip. I'm gonna start with a body weight, and then I'm gonna probably add some weight. Again, this can be a core exercise. At least I feel like it should be a core exercise. It'll help take the stress away from your main joints, and you can get some more core work out of it to keep your workouts efficient. So, same thing I just said. Squeeze your butt, tuck your pelvis, keep those lower abdominals nice and tight, and brace. Learn to control each muscle, not just the muscles that you're working, or not just the worst muscles that are the obvious working, I should say. Six to 8, keep it moving. I'm gonna do some pullovers as a superset with this. All right, doing some rope pullovers. Maybe go a little higher reps here, maybe like 10 to 12. I am using 2 ropes so I can get a little bit deeper of a range of motion. And I'm gonna do 2 supersets back and forth, dips, and then rope pullovers, and I'm gonna call it a day. I gotta go home, I'm on dad duty, and I'm looking forward to it. It's my favorite time of day. But I just wanted to add this. Guys, there's days where I don't feel like doing this. There's probably more days that I don't feel like doing this than there are days that I do feel like doing this, if I'm being completely honest. But if I didn't do it, on all the days I didn't want to do it, I would feel like shit, even more so. I'd feel soft, I'd feel squishy, I would start losing my temper, I would start having less patience and being less kind, if I'm being completely honest. I'm more edgy if I don't work out. And with a toddler, with sleep deprivation, running a business, trying to be a good husband, trying to be a good leader here, trying to build a business, all the pressures of dad life and just everyday life coming at you. If I don't release some stress and get through a workout and put some energy out of my body and, you know, get my mind right, I'd be more miserable. So there's many days I don't want to do it. If I do it, or if I can do it, I should say, you can too. If you're a dad on a comeback, drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that the YouTubers do. All right, just let me know that you're out there, and let's hold each other accountable. That's very light, so I'm gonna slow my negative, my eccentric up a little bit. Really trying to drop my shoulders and do like a 5-second negative, just because I don't want to waste a set, and I don't want to do 25 reps because it is a lighter weight for me today for whatever reason. Even with the negatives, I can probably still do 20. So I'm gonna call it a day right there, and I'll go heavier next set. Guys, believe in yourself. Trust the process, practice patience. Again, if you're a dad, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know where you're at, what stage you're at, and where you're at in your health journey, your fitness journey. Talk to you soon. Peace.